I've heard people over and over and over say things like that to their kids. My one of my patients, individual patients, she's a banker and she's high up in the industry, and she came into me 20 years ago with the prime argument that mom was always saying what a loser she was. And she said, when I was growing up, she said my mother would yell at me and say, "Why can't you be like your older sister? Your older sister is perfect. She does everything right." And she said, "I was me. I wasn't my older sister." And later on, guess what? The older sister ended up having a lot of drugs and alcohol problems. And my clients making lots of money and doing really well in the banking business. And the older sister's needing the money from the younger sister to keep surviving and going on. And my client is struggling with it years later. Those words we hear, say, my friend Betty, when she told me her thing about family having to get out of the Catholic Church, she was in her 70s at the time, and she said, but it didn't bother me. I just let it flow. But if it bothered you enough that you remember word for word what your family said, it's a problem. You guys have all heard things from time to time from different people that make an impact. It may be family, it may be friends, it may be somebody you really care about. I realize I'm an old guy, but I'm kind of dating somebody new, and I made some comment about, I said, hey, don't worry about it, you're at least a distraction. Ooh, I heard for the next couple of weeks over and over, remember, I'm just a distraction. I thought, you're more than a distraction. I was trying to downplay things, okay? That didn't work, did it? We hear things in different ways. And it's very important to be careful what you say to your kids, to be careful what you say to your family. They say this is why my book, Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Anger, fits me rather than happiness, because I didn't realize until I was 34, and my mother came along and said, by the way, I'm moving back in with you. I'm leaving your asshole father, and we'll be happy again. And I'm like, excuse me? And I said, no, I was thinking of living on my own. I'm 34 years old. And, this happens. My friend in France said, he said, if I leave France, he said, I know the first thing my mother's going to say is, why are you abandoning me? He's got older brothers, maybe a sister, but he has definitely older brothers. And he's the young one. And he's the one that mom depends on for attention and everything else, period. We have to be careful what we say.